I would like to take a moment to discuss a very important issue, and that is the issue of the heart. How many know that we try and hide a certain condition or a certain sin within our hearts, thinking that it will not manifest and that it will not show itself outwardly? We often misconstrue the ability of a hidden sin manifesting itself outwardly. Well, I want to talk about that today. And I want to use the example of eczema. You see, eczema is a skin condition that shows itself as dry, scaly patches on the skin. It is very itchy, it is very debilitating and annoying. Those who have eczema experiences these itchy patches on their skin and can't find any relief from it. I want to use my son as an example. You see, my son, when he was a baby, he had eczema, and he suffered with it all the way up until 18 months of age. It really discouraged me and crushed my heart to pick up my baby from his crib, and I would see little specks of blood in the crib from him scratching his skin raw. And so I took him to his pediatrician, and the pediatrician prescribed things like hydrocortisone, Aquaphor, Eucerin, all of which was topical ointments that did not work for my son. And so by the next visit, I asked my pediatrician, I said, could there possibly be something else going on the inside that my child is ingesting that can be causing this reaction on his skin? The pediatrician says, I haven't thought of that. Let's give that a try. So what happened was my pediatrician gave my baby a blood test because he was too young for an actual skin allergy test. So he tested my baby's blood, and from that test, he found out that my son was allergic to eggs, soy, and dairy. And at this time, my son was off of breastfeeding, and I was formula feeding him. I was feeding him with a milk-based formula. And so since my son was allergic to the milk in the formula, I took him off of the formula and I switched him to coconut milk. And as I did this, within 1 week of taking my child off of the milk-based formula, my child's skin in 1 week cleared completely up. I mean, there was no scarification, no implication of any skin issue on his skin. And my baby's skin was back to the soft and supple skin that I imagined my child's skin is supposed to be like, just because I eradicated the milk. So I like to use that example to explain or to symbolize the heart issue or the sin that is going on inside of us that we believe that is not going to have any effect on our outward appearance. You see, our sin is just like that eczema. And not that I'm saying that eczema is a sin or anything like that. I'm using that in a symbolical form to show that sin within us can be going on and revving up inside of us, and then eventually that sin is going to manifest itself outwardly. What is that sin that you may have today that is manifesting itself outwardly? You see, I couldn't heal my son's eczema with any of the topical solutions that the doctor said that would work. So the Eucerin, the Aquaphor, the hydrocortisone, none of that worked because it wasn't an outward issue. It was not a topical skin issue. So what is that spiritual eczema and how is it functioning in your life? That spiritual eczema, what is going on in your life today that is manifesting outwardly? Have you taken the chance to look deep within yourself to realize, what is this causing me outwardly? So your spiritual eczema could very well be your drug addiction. It could very well be your sex addiction. It could very well be your food addiction, your alcohol addiction, whatever it may be. But all of those things, drugs, sex, food, alcohol, all of those things is hydrocortisone, eucerin, aquaphor. And it's only trying to mask and cover up the spiritual eczema that is going on within the heart, within self. What is going on to make you abuse that alcohol? What is going on the inside? Check that first. Check that first. Repent, give it to God, and put that in check immediately. Go to your doctor, the wonderful counselor, and get that checked. Go to God in prayer. Go to the Lord in prayer. He is the great physician. Yeah? Jesus is the great physician. Go to your doctor and figure out what is causing your alcohol addiction, what is causing your food addiction, what is causing your sex addiction, your drug addiction. Because all of those things is just a manifestation of what is going wrong on the inside. And we don't have to continue in this sickness, in this illness, because sin sickens you. And it can be something that as people, we can look at something as trivial as depression or something along those lines, and not consider it sin. But if we have something going on within us that we're not able to overcome and attack and put in check, that means that we're trying to do everything on our own strength. We're not giving it to God. We're not going to the great physician. We're not going to the doctor with our problems and our issues. And therefore, depression develops. Therefore, a sadness and a self-absorbed mindset happens. And then we try to mask all of those issues with drugs, with alcohol, with food binges, TV binges, all of these things, smoking. We try to mask what is going on the inside, that we did not go to the doctor to get checked out. We're trying to mask all of these things and do it on our own strength. My dear, you cannot. You cannot do it on your own strength. I am here to tell you that just like my son's eczema, the eucerin, the aquaphor, even the pediatrician could not figure out how to get rid of what was going on the outside without first looking at what is going on the inside. So take your heart issue to the great physician, to God, to Jesus, and eradicate whatever it is that is causing you to try to mask your sin, because it will come forth. It will display itself outwardly. There is no running from it. So give it to God so that you can live an abundant life.